Hello everybody, what's going on? This is Andrew, and today I'm going to be playing some Standard on Magic Arena. This weekend, there are two Standard Set Championship qualifiers, one run by GG Tour and one run by 5CH, the Latin American series. There were two big Standard tournaments over the weekend, and so I want to look at those results real quick and pick out one of the decks that I didn't expect to do so well, and take a look at it today. So Croaky's, the streamer, had a huge free entry Standard tournament, and this is what the top 8 looked like. 4 white-black control decks, which are just different versions of exactly what you expect. Some Lolth, some Eye Twitches, some Shambling Ghasts, that sort of black-white sacrificey control-y build. Put 4 copies in the top 8. Jeskai control, Jeskai combo turns is still a thing that people are doing, which is really frustrating in my opinion, but whatever. Put 2 copies in the top 8, and then an Esper midrange deck, which is similar to the black-white decks, just has blue in it also, so you can play Kaito Shizuki, which makes little ninjas that you can use. Esper Planeswalkers is going to be a pretty similar deck, I think. Oh, that actually has a lot more Planeswalkers. That's a completely different thing. That's a cool deck. But, there's a whole bunch of control in mid-range, and you have to go down to, there's a Golgari mid-range deck down here, which looks kind of cool. There's the Naya Runes deck down here that I'm interested in. But there's not a lot of aggro, right? There's a lot of control. The aggro decks are not showing up quite as much. So let's look at the results of another event. The Pizza Box Open. I played in one of their events a little bit ago. They had a Standard event this weekend. What's their top 8 look like? Is their top 8 any different, any better? Naya Runes actually won this event. And then Control, Esper Midrange, Jeskai combo, mono green, the first mono green deck we've seen in a long time. This deck basically doesn't exist anymore because black-white is so popular, and black-white runs 4 Vanishing Verses, which makes Old Growth Troll basically non-existent. Old Growth Troll was one of the ways that these mono green decks would actually keep up as the game goes along, and without it, it's pretty tough for them to keep up. Then another Jeskai control deck, another blue-red control deck, and then a blue-white tempo deck. We've seen these kind of base white with a little bit of blue tempo decks splash up here and there. If you get lucky enough, you can win an event. And then there's a Mardu version of the black-white control deck playing the Kiki Jiki card, which is kind of cool. More Naya Runes, more mid-range control, more Naya Runes. So, Standard doesn't have great aggro options. A lot of these control decks go bigger and better than the creature decks can. But one of the decks that I want to take a look at is Naya Runes. I had highlighted that I thought this deck could be competitive in a deck building video I did a few weeks ago, before Kamigawa came out, and it looks like other people agreed with me, and the deck's been showing up. Just a reminder, Generous Visitor, along with Kami of Transience and Jukai Naturalist, give this deck some added power. Runeforged Champion lets us go find our runes, and all the runes just cost 1 mana, which means with Jukai Naturalist they cost 0 mana. Michiko's Reign of Truth is a card I completely glossed over when I did my deck building video, but this card lets you superpower 1 creature on the first turn, another creature on the second turn, and then it itself turns into a superpower creature. I think this card's pretty important to the deck in actually closing out games. And then Showdown of the Skalds lets us cast more runes, lets us dig into our deck, and lets us make our creatures bigger. I really like this as a top-end finisher, card advantage engine, whatever you want to call it. I think that's sweet. I've got 3 copies of Commune of Spirits. Sometimes this draws you a land, sometimes this finds you a Showdown of the Skalds. Hopefully it can do either option relatively well. I'm not sure about this card, but I want to try it out. And then I've got one Light Pause Emperor's Voice in here. This card's been showing up in some other decks in different formats, but I want to try a copy here because I think it could be good. The sideboard has some removal, some cards that help protect your stuff. We've got a Yarshand, we've got some Catildas, some wedding announcements. I'm trying 2 copies of Season of Renewal. I think this could be really good against decks that are trying to kill our stuff. Picking up a Showdown of the Skalds and a Runeforge champion to start rebuilding seems pretty good to me. I'm going to play a copy of Farewell also. I think being able to keep enchantments alive while killing creatures might be a good way to push through. And then we've got a Brilliant Restoration, which was a card I highlighted that I thought could be sweet as a late game, kind of bring all your stuff back. And I saw a copy or 2 in some sideboards, so I'm gonna try one here too. So let's get into a couple games and see if this deck can do what we want it to do, right? We just want to play creatures, we want to get super ahead on board early, and hope to push enough damage that we can win the game. So let's hop in and see how it goes. Alright, getting into our first match here against Mark, and let's see if we can do something cool here. Actually, yeah, I think this hand is fine. Commune of Spirits hopefully draws us something good. Hopefully. And I'll probably lead a Kami of Transients and then Jukai Naturalist on 2. It's Commune. I'd like to hit a land, I think. I think I need a land, not a rune here. So I'll take a Rockfall Veil. Yeah. Because this is going to go on white. Okay, it looks like we're playing against green-white humans. Should be interesting. I imagine we can go over them if things go right for us. So we'll see if that is how it plays out. Okay. Restoration of Iganjo is a cool card. They get to go find planes. So I'm gonna go land Jukai Naturalist. Put a counter on this. Oh, that doesn't make this cost 1. Sure. I wonder why they're blocking. Oh, because I want to discard a card and get the farmhand back? Sure. And now they'll go get another plains. I feel like that's a lot of steps to go through. I don't know if that's actually better. They're in the same spot they were in. I guess they're in the same spot they were in at +1 life than if they hadn't have blocked. Sure. I think this pathway goes on white. Oh no, they're not. They're not humans. They're some weird lands deck. This goes on white. I'm gonna play another Kami and another Jukai Naturalist. And now they get to put a land on top of their deck. Okay. So discarding a land didn't matter. Gotcha. And what else are we doing? Sure, wedding announcement kind of makes sense. Another ambitious farmhand, yep. Okay, Michiko's Reign of Truth is going to be good here. I think I'm holding the Touch the Spirit Realm to kill their Boseiju, because it's going to be pretty big. But I kind of want to go Kami. Rune of Sustenance, my biggest guy. Everything grows. Land. Reign of Truth. Everyone grows. And then... pump up this one and attack with both. I was worried this triple Kami of Transient start, I wouldn't end up with enough enchantments to actually make this work. But they trample, and they're pretty big now. Things are looking up for us. Mark agrees that things look pretty good for us and concedes. Cool. I don't really know what they're doing. They've got some creatures, they've got some enchantments. Maybe we want the rip-aparts here. I'm not sure if I want my wedding announcements, if like we're gonna go super long. Valorous Stance seems okay. Do I want the Circles of Confinement? To get rid of their farmhands? Are the boards gonna get clogged? So Catilda seems good. I think the Light Pause comes out most of the time. And I think I can trim some runes. Yeah, I just don't know if this is going to be like a clogged board situation, or if it's going to be like we kill each other's stuff a lot. Let's assume it's clogged boards. So let me cut some of the Commune of Spirits, actually maybe all of them, and put in the 2 Catildas, and I'll put in a Circle of Confinement. I just want to make sure I can interact with what needs interacting with. And the Catildas are going to get pretty big if we both just sit around making stuff, or like just playing stuff. The Generous Visitors are spirits, so they'll pump up Catilda also. Pretty good first game. Let's see if we can keep it up here. We'll keep this hand. It's a little awkward because we only have the 1 Generous Visitor, but did not seem like our opponent was going to interact with us too much, so... we'll go Generous Visitor on 1. Probably just rune it up on turn 2. Because I want to cycle my rune. Cool. Needle Verge Pathway was a good draw. Draw a card. Cool. Found a Jukai Naturalist. That's great. Keeps giving them priority here. I'm not sure what they have that they don't want to cast. Maybe they have a Valorous Stance, and since they have a creature, they can target it to give it indestructible. Yep, wedding announcement. Sure. I'll go Overgrown Farmland, Jukai Naturalist, Pump Up Visitor, Rune of Sustenance, Pump Up the Naturalist. Attack. Showdown looks pretty good here. Catilda's already pretty big. And they're just playing with Sage Reaches Skyward. I don't know what they're doing with that. I mean, obviously they're getting forests, but I don't know why. So if I play Catilda, I can't play anything else because I don't have enough other lands. I feel like I probably just Showdown here, right? And then I can Rune, or I can Michiko's Reign of Truth. Let's Rune this turn. And then attack. Okay. Found more lands, found more white lands. I feel like we're in a really good spot. This deck has just kind of done exactly what we want it to at every step so far. This is going to keep putting counters on our stuff. This has trample now. This has trample. Oh, they're a Felidar retreat deck. Sure. So now they make a 2/2. So I'll play one of these on white. Circle of Confinement. I kind of want to go Showdown. I want to get this Kami going. But I think it's better to play these cards this turn. And they might be dead. Just put everything on the Generous Visitor. Circle of Confinement. Take away that. And now we have Michiko's Reign of Truth. Just the old attack you with a 1919 Trampler on turn 5? It wasn't turn 5, was it? It was. It was my 5th turn, right? Cool. It's pretty good. Alright, we won the die roll again. Nice. This is a slower hand, but it's more powerful with the Showdowns. Yeah, I think I'll try this. I kind of want to know if a hand like this can work. If I don't find another land, that's going to suck, but I have the Rune of Might with the Kami to try to get there. Light Pause actually might be good here. The red deck that had priority and didn't cast anything probably has a removal spell. I just want to hit land drops. Well, I don't think we're winning this game. I think missing that land drop was that important. Yeah. They found a land. Must be nice. If I can just draw some running lands here, I think I'll be okay. If not... Oof. Cool. Found the land. Now maybe we can play this game. It's a little annoying to have these runes on the land, but at the same time, it's gonna make sure that my Michiko's Reign of Truth actually does something every time. So that's actually kind of okay. I think I'm gonna lead with Jukai Naturalist here. And then I'm just gonna pass. Looks like I'm playing against either the blue-red control combo deck or dragons. It's impossible to know which one yet. Now, it's more clear to me that it's the combo version. Or it could be a Goldspan Dragon still, I guess. I know nothing. I think there's a version of this deck that just like plays a bunch of stuff that targets Goldspan Dragon, which is really silly. Usually they're 3 colors, so normally they're white, so they can play Valorous Stance. Alright, what else you got, opponent? Yep. Yeah, missing on lands is going to make this tough. If I find a land, or if I find a rune, what am I even discarding? I have to discard something. Do I discard a Michiko's Reign of Truth? Oh, I can discard this. Sure, I think I will go get a red rune, and then end up discard the Kami. Because this can come back. Second dragon means I'm super dead here. Unless I can just go off this turn. Which doesn't seem particularly likely, but yeah. Okay, I'll concede. Not drawing lands. Not a lot to say there. I also have these Commune of Spirits in the main deck, so even though I only have 23 lands, these kind of count as lands, especially when I'm screwed like that. So 26 hits. I feel like I should have hit at something by the end there. Do I want Farewell here? Is there a chance that the game goes, they kill all my stuff, and then I need to kill their dragons with Farewell? Doesn't seem super likely. Catilda has flying and lifelink. That's interesting to me here. The Yasharn comes in so they can't use their treasures. And then I think I'm interested in the Tamiyo's Safekeeping. I think I'll trim a Runeforge Champion. Trim a couple runes. And then trim a Commune of Spirits. Could probably cut the Light Paws also. I'll cut Light Paws for a Season of Renewal. I don't know. I have not been playing a lot of Standard, so I'm not really sure how to sideboard. I'm just guessing. This seems good. Stupid Lair of the Hydra thinks it can activate itself still. I'm gonna lead on the Kami of Transience this time. I can go Naturalist plus Rune of Might next turn. They have Egg. Okay. Kami can attack through the Egg. And I have the Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay. And now it's a 5/5. They probably can't kill it with their Dragon's Fire anymore. It's a pretty good start. Let's see if it pays off. We have enough lands now, so if we find Showdown, we are good to go. Okay, they're just killing my guy. Ooh, Runeforge Champion. Give this lifelink. Yeah, I think that's the play here. Search library, get White Rune. Cast White Rune for cheap. Give it a counter. 6/6 lifelink trampler. I guess they could have a Fading Hope here. That would kind of suck. Please no Fading Hope. They're letting it resolve, which means I get to draw a card. Which to me means that the chances that they have a Fading Hope are less likely, but you never know. Next turn I get to kill their Egg and play another rune. Might be enough to kill them. Even if they can flip their Egg. Okay, they found a land, so they'll play their land, and they're just jamming the Celestis. Interesting. I don't need second red. So I'll just put this on green. Cast Touch the Spirit Realm. Annul. Does this kill them? This gives +1, 2, 3. So 10, and then 11 from the trigger. Yeah, this still kills them. Silly opponent, I had 2 ways to kill you. And I'm at 37. Okay, cool. I did not expect Annul, but I guess if this deck is getting more popular, they want copies of Annul. It seems weird to me, but, you know, whatever. Do I want Circles of Confinement to deal with their dragon eggs? I've got the Valorous Stance and the Touch the Spirit Realm right now. I think I'd rather have it than the Season of Renewal. Just a copy, just one. And now I'm wondering if maybe the Yasharn is unnecessary. You could convince me that the Yasharn is unnecessary and that I should be playing anything else. I'll keep this. And actually, I'm going to take it slow. Yeah. Because I need this to go on white. So I can't go Generous Visitor. Yeah, that's fine. Am I jamming the Generous Visitor? I think so. And I'm jamming it. Yeah, it's dead, sure. Because I have this Catilda as follow-up. So I can go Overgrown Farmland Catilda next turn. It wasn't me summoning another Overgrown Farmland, by the way. It's not what I wanted. So Catilda's here. She's going to hang out. Even if she dies, her backside's going to be pretty good here, too. Oh, no. That sucks. Okay, that's going to be a spell this game, probably. Showdown? Please resolve. They're digging for a counterspell. I guess they have Dry Disruption. Oh, that damn annul getting me again. Yeah, okay. And then Goldspan Dragon. They had it all. And they had the wrong dragon, so my Circle of Confinement, the one copy that I left in, is doing, like, nothing. This at least gets to cleanly deal with the Goldspan Dragon and does not give them another treasure, because this says whenever it attacks or becomes a target of a spell. Well, this isn't a spell. I'm just activating an ability. And into the Royal. Wow. Cast Circle of Confinement. Do this. Do this. Yeah, I think I'm dead here. There are a couple ways I'm dead here, but the Spikefield Hazard on Catilda was huge for my opponent. If they didn't have Spikefield Hazard, I could have gone Generous Visitor plus plus Catilda's backside this turn. The annul for Showdown of the Skalds was huge. And now I've just got 2 lands and nothing to do. GG's blue-red opponent, I guess. So what did we learn here? We learned that annul is a dumb card. No, I think this deck's pretty good. We pretty easily dealt with a green-white landfall lands deck that seemed kind of neat but not really competitive. And then we took a game, excuse me, we took a game off of blue-red dragons. We never really saw if they were just a dragons deck or if they had the combo in their deck or not. But they had a null, so they wanted this matchup more than we did. They were much more prepared than we were. But I think overall the deck played pretty well. We drew a few too many lands in one game and didn't draw enough lands in another game. But we got to see the power of Jukai Naturalist with the Kami of Transiences. Generous Visitor was huge one game. And Michiku's Reign of Truth, I think, is important to actually winning the game when you pull ahead early. All this deck wants to do is get really ahead early and then push its advantage and kill you as soon as possible. It has the Showdown to help you grind a little bit, but it can't deal with too much disruption, and it can't go too long in the main deck, at least. In the sideboard, you get access to Wedding Announcements, some other form of card advantage like Season of Renewal. Some people were playing Welcoming Vampire, and I didn't really understand why. Like, yeah, all of the creatures trigger it, but we're only playing 16 creatures. So I don't know if Welcoming Vampire makes sense. So I was trying the Seasons of Renewal. You get Brilliant Restoration out of the sideboard also, and like the Safekeeping and the Valorous Stance to keep your big stuff alive. So I think post board you have ways to deal with decks looking to interact with you in game ones. In games when you're on the play, you just want to run them over as fast as possible. And I think this deck's pretty good at doing so. It'll be interesting to see how this deck develops as the format goes on. But I really do think that Generous Visitor and Kami and a playable creature with the enchantment spells cost 1 less to cast text on it have pushed this deck into a tier of standard where it's actually competitive, which is a lot of fun. Anyways, that's going to be it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the slightly different video format today too. I'm looking at making my videos, especially for constructed, kind of matter a little bit more. So I'm going to try to make sure that they are targeted at whatever events are coming up or whatever people seem to be playing more of. And I'm going to try to like look at what's doing well in the format and what decks might be competitive but not getting as much hype. So that's my plan. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you next time.